Well, it's definitely earned me more money. Just like Decatur, they were paying 70 cents more for summer corn there in August. We were hauling corn 100 mile for 40 cents, and we're making 30 cents, and I wouldn't even known that price was probably on there. I wouldn't have thought of calling Decatur, but when you go to the Grower's Edge page, then it takes all that running around out of it for you.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills, this is Logan Burgess. Today is Friday the 20th, and we had a bit of a mixed bag between corn, soybeans, and wheat here. Corn trading up 2 3/4 cents on the July contract. Soybeans with kind of a differentiation here between old crop and new crop. July soybeans trading down 5 cents, with new crop beans trading up 4 1/4, and wheat in Chicago down 8 cents on that July contract. Yep. Now, Logan, what's the reason here we saw new crop beans rally while old crop beans were selling off?
Well, I think in soybeans and corn this week, it was really a theme of seeing some strength on the new crop as a result of heavy rains received really across the grain belt. This map here does a great job detailing those rains. This is precipitation received between June 14th and June 19th. Areas in red here received over 10 inches during that time period. So I think when we're looking at this, it's certainly the kind of story that can support the futures market. We will have acres lost as a result, but I guess when I look at this event, I don't feel it's the type of event that's going to have a meaningful impact on 2014-15 ending stocks. I think if we can continue to get a rally into next week, it's going to represent a good selling opportunity, particularly looking at soybeans as we approach the June 30th report. Here in the office at Grain Hedge, we talk to a lot of producers from Iowa, Nebraska, all the way out to Ohio, and really the theme seems to be there are a few producers that have crops underwater at the moment, but the overwhelming majority of producers are still saying that these are some of the best crop conditions they've seen at this point in the marketing year for several decades in some cases. So I think that's kind of the big takeaway from this. Use it as a selling opportunity if this flooding can continue to support the market.
Absolutely, and I think next week, we're going to have an interesting driver to the trade, right, as people start to position themselves for this June 30th acreage report. Right. We may get a situation where we really start to get a sense as to how the market is leaning going into this report, and that may provide a little bit of an opportunity to price out some grain here. Logan, what's the weather outlook going forward?
Well, over the next 6 to 10 days, it looks like right now we are going to have a drying trend coming in. You can see here this map provided by Planalytics shows that really from North Dakota on down to Iowa, we should see drier than normal conditions. The one spot to keep an eye on here is that southern Indiana, southern Illinois area where things continue to remain relatively wet as well. But I think the Western Corn Belt, based on these projections from Planalytics, should be seeing a little bit of a reprieve here from the rain that we've had over really the last week.
Absolutely. And crop is off to a great start here. And of course, weather is going to be the major driver as we move toward July. I think one of the things that we need to be paying attention is the development of El Nino weather event here. And Planalytics is actually going to be highlighting this in a June 26th 10 a.m. Central Time web meeting. What they're going to be talking about is the major factors here that are going to influence the cycle here and what this means to North American agriculture. So if you want to be a part of that, you want to sit in and listen to what Planalytics has to say, give us a call at 877-472-4607.
It is Friday here, Cody, and we like to take a look at the cash market. Here at Grain Hedge, we collect about 4,200 cash market locations each day. So at the end of the week here, we like to kind of take all that data and boil it down and really see what's going on in the spot market here for corn and soybeans. What did we see this week? It's been a little bit of a different futures environment than we've seen for the earlier part of June.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head there. Really, last week we had the cash basis levels driven primarily by the sell-off in soybeans. We saw a sharp increase in basis across the U.S. This week we did get a little bit of a basis improvement here for corn and soybeans, up about a penny. But I think the part that's very interesting is the fact that soy plants were down 2 3/4. Now soy plants, now we're talking 2 3/4 cents basis on average across the U.S. for that particular sector. What I think is very interesting is the fact that last week, soy plants were really outperforming. They were relatively strong. They had strong basis improvements, but then we got news out from China that they were no longer going to allow DDG imports from the U.S. And I think this is having an impact here on soybeans in particular. I do know that more DDGs in the U.S. means more competition for soy meal, and that could start to hurt basis here for soy plants across the U.S. I think this is going to be something we're going to have to watch going forward.
Absolutely. If you have any questions about what to see in your local cash market right now in terms of basis, both on the old crop and on the new crop, feel free to give our office a call. Number here is 877-472-4607. That wraps up what we saw here for the week in the grain market. As we said, the next big day here on your trade calendar needs to be June 30th. On that day, we will be getting acreage numbers from the USDA in addition to quarterly grain stocks. So a very big day in terms of the market. We'll help get you ready for that report next week here on GrainTV. As I said, though, that wraps up what we have here on a Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.